just trying to prepare you.
You've got to know what to expect.
I know what to expect, and I am prepared.
Oh, you may think you're prepared, darling, but a little last-minute polishing never hurt anybody. Now, my expertise as an actress is invaluable. You have to think of the camera as a friend.
Yes.
You've got to forget about the camera. It's Daly you've got to worry about, and your opponent.
My opponent is not Robert. My opponent is Lee Baldwin.
That is where you're wrong. Scorpio's the one that's bent on sabotaging your campaign. You've got to sideline him before you can even think about Baldwin.
Well, whatever the case, my dear, they just walked in.
Oh, and look what they dragged along with them. Luke. Hello, Lee.
Good morning, Luke.
Hello.
Luke. Oh, Robert.
How are you?
Tiffany. Well, I see everyone's on time.
We're ready, Mr. Daly.
This is it, gentlemen. Will you follow me? Mr. Spencer.
5 minutes there. Everyone settle down, please.
What do you know about television? Hiding it too. No, I'm serious. It starts in 5 minutes. And look at this picture. It's making me dizzy.
Well, let's see what I can do here.
Oh, I've tried everything. It doesn't make any difference.
There you go. Perfect picture.
It's a miracle.
Well, if I've come at a bad time.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
You said over the phone it had to be in person. You've analyzed the fingerprints?
Yes, I did, and I think you're going to be quite surprised.
Yes, and the doctor would like to see you in person. 10:30 is fine. All right, we'll see you then. May I help you? Oh, excuse me. Main desk, Miss Spencer, may I help you?
Back.
Oh, hold on a minute and I'll connect you.
Call admittance. Nurse back. Nurse Helen down. Call admittance.
You're the piano player at Luke's place.
Yes, I'm Gregory, and you're Miss Spencer.
I thought I recognized you.
Even without the piano, I am flattered. But my playing now, I don't think it'd be too impressive. I think something problem here with my hands. The joints are stiffening on me.
Would you like to see a doctor?
Yes, please. Dr. Putnam, if he's around.
Sure, I'll find him for you.
Dr. Neville, the CIC.
Oh, he's right behind you. Dr. Putnam. This gentleman would like to speak to you.
Putnam?
Yes.
Gregory
hello.
Malto. I'm from Luke's place.
Gregory's the piano player.
Yes, I know. I recognize him.
Yes, I'm having a problem with the meal tickets here. Some cramping or something. I was wondering if you could take a look at them for me in private.
Of course.
Once the fingerprints were lifted from the glass, I just put them through Robert's computer.
He knew about it?
Of course not. This is just between you and I. Robert won't find out. Even if he does, I don't think it'll make any difference.
Why? What do you mean?
You ready for this?
I'm sitting down. If you want, I can lie down.
No, it's not quite that earth-shattering. Sitting down is fine. The fingerprints that we got from that glass that you gave me were definitely belonging to a Dr. Grant Putnam.
Grant?
Yes, they said there's no mistake.
They?
Yes,
They?
the
Who's it they?
FBI. I checked their master file for references. Everybody who's ever applied for a passport has their fingerprints in that file.
You're right, Holly. This is a surprise.
What was Grant doing in your art class?
No, he was never in my class.
But I thought that's where you got the glass.
Oh, yeah. No, I thought so, but I guess not. No, I know.
What?
I know. Well, I brought the glass home. I left it in the bathroom. I must have just picked up the wrong glass.
One that Grant had used.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Holly. I put you through all this trouble for nothing.
Well, not necessarily. If you get me the other glass.
No, too late. We have maid service every day. They change the soap and the towels and the sheets.
And the glasses.
And the glass.
You never told me quite why this was so important to you. Why was that glass? You seemed so upset about it.
No, it wasn't. I wasn't.
Well, then why didn't you want Robert to know about it?
I didn't care.
Oh, Celia, come on. Less than 5 minutes ago, you were upset that he might find out about it.
I was embarrassed.
About what?
Circumstances.
Such as?
Silly. Not anything worth discussing.
Well, not now, anyway, because the show's just about to start.
Well, I never knew you were such a big TV fan.
Oh, well, I am today. Robert and Luke are going to be on Port Charles today. I really have to watch this, and then I'm going to go to the studio and pick up Robert.
I thought you said Luke will be there.
Yes, I'm not really looking forward to running into him.
Well, then why don't you get Robert to take a cab?
I would, except that we have to make a quick appearance at the Policemen's Benevolent Association benefit.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
Yes, all the excitement is going to be on this show.
Well, I guess I won't bother you then. I have to go back to the hotel anyway. See you later.
Okay, bye.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Ted Daly, and welcome to Port Charles today, where we are very pleased to have two very special guests. Robert Scorpio, Port Charles Police Commissioner and our guest of several days ago, and Mr. Luke Spencer, presently proprietor of Luke's Place, the Waterfront Casino, and a candidate for mayor of Port Charles. Any comments at this point, Mr. Spencer, on your opponent?
He's a fine man and a friend of mine, and if I weren't voting for myself, I certainly would vote for him.
I understand a major issue in this campaign is gambling.
Well, that's what they tell me.
During Commissioner Scorpio's last visit to our show, he talked about the danger of a criminal element attaching itself to your enterprise.
My campaign?
Your casino.
Ah. Well, I'm sorry. I must have missed that show.
You no doubt heard about it, though.
Yes, I did hear about it. Apparently, Mr. Scorpio got right up there on his soapbox. As for this mythical criminal element that he says that I'm bringing into this city, I must say it doesn't exist.
You're denying, then, that your casino was raided for drugs?
Oh, it was raided. That is correct. It was raided. The reason, you would have to ask Mr. Scorpio.
Mr. Scorpio.
Look, I'm not making any accusations here. All I'm saying is that a casino, such as Luke's Place, has the potential to attract a criminal element.
Getting back to the drug...
Look. Now, a man was arrested for possession of drugs. An investigation had to be maintained, so we found in the best interests of the public to close the place for several days.
An investigation which, since Mr. Scorpio isn't going to add, I certainly am going to add, found no other trace of drugs or any illicit activity.
Still, an investigation had to be made.
Is that right? And for what reason? You need evidence for that kind of behavior. Exactly, what was your evidence?
Drugs were found on the premises.
You planted those drugs and the whole town knows it.
Look, I thought there wasn't going to be any mudslinging here.
I'm just clearing up a few facts. As for this raid and the subsequent investigation, it was nothing more than personal harassment to me and to my business.
That isn't true.
There is a lot of evidence to the contrary.
As for a reason for this harassment, Mr. Spencer, do you have any? Surely you have some theories.
I think you should ask Robert.
I'm asking you, Mr. Spencer. Do you believe this alleged harassment has something to do with the commissioner's wife? And
Now, wait a minute here.
I think it's a fair question.
Well, I don't.
Robert's right. There's no reason to bring her into this.
Not even if it's relevant to your rivalry? After all, Mr. Spencer, you did have a rather widely publicized relationship with Mrs. Scorpio.
Listen, I told you that she had nothing to do with this.
You were all friends, though, right? You, the commissioner, Holly. It's common knowledge you had plans to marry Mrs. Scorpio before you disappeared.
Mr. Daly, that was a long time ago.
Still, isn't it possible that the problems between Mr. Scorpio and yourself have less to do with political differences and more to do with the jealousy that would emanate from a love triangle such as this?
That, sir, is preposterous.
Mr. Scorpio.
On that issue, Mr. Spencer and I are in complete agreement.
Perhaps I should invite Mrs. Scorpio to visit our show. You could always ask. I may have to if you gentlemen continue to evade the question.
I don't even know how we got onto this subject.
It's very simple, Mr. Spencer. You've accused the commissioner here of harassment. I'm simply looking for a motivation for that harassment.
And I'm telling you, Mr. Daly, you're barking up the wrong fire hydrant.
Gregory, don't you think this is a risk? All around us, people are beginning to put this puzzle together. The connection between you and me could be just the final piece they need.
Relax, Grant. You seem very nervous today.
No, I'm not nervous. I'm scared to death. Scared about what this little meeting could bring down on me.
See, you're worrying about nothing. You should be worrying about what I can bring down on you.
You should have checked with me first. A plan should have been worked out.
I'm your superior officer. I don't have to check with you about anything. And as far as my being here goes, well, I have the perfect excuse, don't I?
Your hand?
Yes. Would you examine it?
There's something actually wrong with it?
Please.
Piano players have such delicate hands.
But I'm not a piano player, am I, Grant? I'm an agent of the DVX, and so are you. Don't forget that. Now, what plans have you made to get into Gerald's office, into the lab?
I'm working on it.
And what does that mean?
It means I'm trying to figure out a way to get Gerald to let me in the lab. I can't break the security. It's the only way.
We're running out of time.
Gregory, I know that. I need help, and I need Gerald's trust.
Gerald is already very fond of you. I'm sure if you pushed, just a little push, he'd open the door for you himself.
It's not that easy.
Perhaps not, but then you don't have a choice, do you? The deadline is Monday. We have to get the microfilm, and Gerald must be eliminated.
Look, I know the plan. What I need to know is why.
Why? Do you seriously question the value of Prometheus?
No. Why kill Gerald? Gregory, all we need is the microfilm. Once we have it, our mission is complete.
Half complete. We knew from the beginning it might be necessary to eliminate Gerald.
I'll ask you again. Why do
Why? Because the microfilm is useless as long as Gerald can duplicate the disc.
That's the only reason.
No, there's another reason, a very important one as far as you're concerned. Gerald is the only one who can identify you.
So I'll take that risk.
Well, you have courage. I admire that. Tell me, are you willing to take the risk of refusing an order from the DVX? Oh, don't tell me now. Think about it. And while you're thinking about it, Grant, remember, a refusal is just another form of suicide.
On the premises. No one else was found with drugs on
doesn't answer the question.
Right. Was made. Nothing was turned up. Precisely the reason we allowed the casino to reopen.
Well, you listen to that. Now we're trying to cover it up.
Reasons, including this one, that you believe that search, that investigation was for something else. If not drugs, what?
Well, I don't know.
Look, we've been over this question many times, and I see no reason to continue harping on it.
The reputation of my campaign and my establishment is at stake. I want the air cleared. Nothing illegal is occurring or has occurred in that casino. My operation is clean. I have the best employees. We serve the best food, the best liquor, all
You
our game.
tell him, Luke.
Mr. Scorpio knows it. Mr. Daly, now you know it, I know it, and you know it.
All right, then, let's discuss the upcoming campaign and the opposing sides the two of you
Not
represent.
up.
Mr. Scorpio, you've made it quite clear you're supporting Lee Baldwin. That's correct. You support his stand on the issues, you like his platform, or is it a case of personalities?
A combination of all three. Now ask him why he's so down on my campaign.
Well, we'll have to wait to get the answer to that question and others right after this.
They always stop him just when they get going. In any case, if this were a debate, Luke just won. I don't know, Rube. When Ted brought up Holly, I think it hurt both their credibility.
You really believe he did that?
Well, you heard him. He did it. Of course, that's reporters for you. They're always anxious to drag skeletons out of the closet. It's their job, I guess.
Well, looks like the hour's almost over. Could probably wrap it up.
Let me know how it turns out. I've got some film to drop off in an all-night box, and then I am going home.
Drive safely.
I will. Night.
Okay.
Well, Bobbie, this was just left for you at the desk.
Thank you.
What is it this time?
It's a rap sheet.
Another one.
Actually, it's the third one. I got another one yesterday. I didn't tell you about it because I thought that was going to be the end. Apparently, it's not.
I don't understand.
I do. Scotty wants Luke out of the campaign, and he doesn't care who falls along the way.
Welcome back. We're just about out of time, but I do have one final question for our distinguished guests. Robert, Luke, you were once the best of friends, as close as two people can ever be. And now you're bitter rivals, all because of a woman. Or is it something else?
Well, I guess you could say, Ted, that all things must pass.
Lou?
For whatever reason, things like that can happen in a friendship, and I suppose Robert and I are proof that nothing lasts forever.
This doesn't bring you any sadness? Either of you? Yes. Well, that concludes another edition of Port Charles Today. We hope you enjoyed our guests. I'd like to thank them for being with us. We'll be back again tomorrow night with the Reverend Samuel Heck, a controversial faith healer. Until then, good night.
We're off.
Hold my place, okay?
Hello?
Holly, it's Jackie. Any statement for the press?
I think you know better than to ask that.
Oh, don't tell me you missed the show.
I saw it.
And you have no reaction. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, your husband and your ex-lover lock horns in front of a citywide audience. I mean, your name comes up as a possible reason for rivalry. And you have nothing to say? Come on, Holly. You must have some opinion of what's transpired.
Just one.
I'll take anything you got.
Great. Take this.
Hi. Bad habit, you know, daydreaming.
It's slow around here. Darling, I thought you were spending the evening with Holly.
Yeah, a little too much competition with the television, I'm afraid. She was watching that program that's having Robert and Luke on as guests.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Well, anyway, I didn't see any point in sticking around there, so I thought I'd come and say hi to you. No reason, no excuse, just to say I love you.
Thank you, darling. But you didn't have to come all the way over here. You could have said that over the phone.
That. But not this.
I'm sorry.
What's wrong?
Oh, I'm just a little preoccupied.
Something here at the hospital?
Well, actually, yes. I have to perform a minor surgery.
Well, if it's minor, what's to worry about?
There may be complications. I don't really know. I guess I'll just have to wait and see.
Guess that means that it's kind of a bad time for me to be here.
Oh, darling, don't be silly.
No, I know how you get with your work. I'm not going to bother you any longer. But I will wait up for you.
Thanks.
Bye. Oh, I don't think I'll ever be afraid again, knowing that you're beside me.
Celia, just love me.
I do. You know I do.
Grant is a problem.
Oh, are you just finding that out?
You know, Natalie, your flippancy is almost always inappropriate, but particularly now when our friend is considering refusing the assignment giving him.
Killing Gerald?
Yes.
Well, what if he continues to
There
do
are
that
no
and
what-ifs. We have no other choice. He's the one that has to do the job. The deadline is Monday, and there's no one else who stands a chance of getting into the lab.
I don't see what we can do.
We have to ensure that he cooperates.
How do we do that, Gregory?
Well, it almost worked last time. This time, I think it will.
Celia?
Yes. I think it's time Grant found out just how serious the DVX can be.
Ruby, it's not me. I've done a lot of thinking. I think I finally come to terms with my past.
Oh, honey, I know that.
But it's Luke. It's what this is going to do to him, how awful it'll be. And I feel like... I'm ashamed. I feel like I've got to do something.
Honey, there's nothing we can do. The campaign's too far along for Luke to drop out.
Well, you're probably right, because there's nothing that's going to stop Scotty from publishing everything anyway.
Oh, he's bad, but he's not that bad.
Ruby, I went to see him. I know. He was totally unmoved. It was as if the more I pleaded with him, the more determined he was to go through with everything.
Then we have no alternative. You've got to stand up and tell the truth. We're strong. We can take it. Honey, the people who know and love us know we're very different people now.
But people who don't know and love us.
I think you mean DL.
DL defies description. We have fun together. We care about each other. He's everything that I want. He's everything that I want for the rest of my life. Now, this has to happen?
Honey, you're afraid if he finds out you were on the street, he won't marry you.
Not Brock. Not a man like that.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Oh, come on. Not if he loves you.
What if he doesn't?
Then it wasn't meant to be, and you go on like you always have.
I don't want to go on. I want Brock.
Honey, don't make the same mistake you've made in the past. You go to him. You tell him the truth. You'll level about the whole mess.
End it now?
If it ends it, it was never meant to be.
You're right.
Don't say that unless you really believe it.
I do. Thanks, Ruby. I am going to the cottage tonight, and I am going to tell him tonight.
Good girl. That's my girl.
The word digression comes to mind.
Well, I had no doubt they'd bring up the gambling issue and the raid. But all of those personal questions.
That's what he said about Holly. I wasn't quite ready for him.
I've got to tell you, I didn't realize this was this kind of a show, and I'm surprised.
Well, I'm not. I'll tell you. I've never seen a campaign where there wasn't a little mudslinging. That's what sells the news, and that's what gets votes.
Not in my campaign, Scotty.
Yeah, well, fortunately, you don't have to do it because it can be done very, very subtly.
No, Scotty. Now, I'm warning you. This campaign is not going to be like that.
On this point, I have to agree with Lee. I want to stop Luke, too, but there's got to be a legitimate way to do it.
All right, fine. If you two change your mind, I'll be around.
I don't see why not. You have the perfect opportunity to put him in his place. Your standings in the polls would go up, and so would the ratings.
Not necessarily. Look, can we just please get out of here?
Tiffany's bringing the car around, but until she does, I want you to hear me out.
If you're just going to talk about throwing around political personal smears, forget it, Jackie.
Come on, people love that kind of stuff. Why do you think those tabloids in the supermarkets are such hot sellers?
This is a political campaign.
Yes, one rung above mud wrestling.
I don't give a damn. Lee and I made an agreement. We're not going to do that. We're not going to use that personal stuff. We're going to deal with the issues in this campaign.
Still, you said you wanted to get some press. You were just complaining you weren't getting enough.
If you are talking about that kind of press, I don't want it. I don't want some political debate turned into a mudslinging contest. And besides that, I don't want my life trivialized by using the past as political points.
I think you're making a mistake.
Well, it's my mistake to make. Now, I've got to get out of here.
That's true. Just hold it. She's going to be... Oh, well.
You'd better be getting along to the benefit of it.
Well, of course. That's you, Chuck. Now, leave.
You can just put it on the nightstand right there.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't you think it's a little late for deliveries?
Well, it was a special order. The person wanted it delivered immediately.
Who was it?
Oh, you'll have to read the card for that. I mean, I'm just giving the name of the receiver and the address.
Oh, well, at any rate, thank you for your efforts.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. I'll see myself out.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All fruit eventually perishes, but our love will last forever. Love, Grant. P.S. Save a plum for me.
General Hospital will continue in a moment.